So now let's solve some example problems of the angle between the two lines, and after that the angle between the vectors. All the information which I given to you is costless, and after this video you will solve the statics problems like a pro. So our first question is, if we have two parallel lines like this and the third line is intersecting with these two parallel lines, and this third line form an angle here is 70 degree, find out the remaining angles. How can you find out the remaining angles? If this angle is 70 degree, the opposite angle here is also 70 degree, because these are alternate angles. Okay, and the angle of the straight line is 180 degree. So if you find out this angle, you will subtract 180 degree minus 70 degree, which is equal to 110 degree. So this angle is 110 degree. But what about this angle? This angle also 110 degree, because these are opposite angles and these are the alternate angles. Okay. But what about this one? Here, 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 and here. What about this one? Okay. So these two angles, this one and this one, are equal because these are alternate exterior angles, and the angle of the straight line is 180 degree. So if you find out this angle, let's call this x, you will subtract 180 with 110 degree, which is equal to 70 degree. So this angle is so this angle is 70 degree, and this is also 70 degree because they are alternate angles, and this is also 110 degree because they are alternate angle. Then if you don't really interested to find out the angle by this method, you use alternate method of this. Okay, so what is that? And again, we have two parallel lines, and the third line is intersecting with these two parallel lines. The angle marked here is 70 degree. Find out the remaining angles. The only thing you have to know the Z alphabet. This one is also Z, and this one is also Z, and these two angles are always equal. Remember this thing, because it really helps us to find out the angles in the vector problem. Okay, so find out the Z alphabet here. The Z alphabet here is this one. So if this angle is 70 degree, this one is also 70 degree. Okay, and the straight line angle is 180 degree. So if you really want to find out this angle, let's call this x, you should subtract 180 degree minus 70 degree, which is equal to 110 degree. So this is 110 degree, and this one also 110 degree, and this one here is 70 degree. Okay, so what about this? This is basically 70 degree because this angle and this angle, they are alternate angles. And what about this one? This is nothing but 180 minus 70, which is equal to 110 degree, and this one is also 110 degree. So it is really up to you which one to choose. Now example number 2. This angle is here is 60 degree. What about this angle? This is nothing but the complementary angles, and complementary angles are those angles when we add these two angles, the summation of these two angles is equal to 90 degree. So if theta 1 is 60 degree plus theta 2 equals to 90, the theta 2 here is 60 minus 90, which is always equal to 30 degree. So this one here is 30 degree. Now example number 3. Now find out this angle. The angle of a straight line is 180 degree. So if you really want to find out this angle, let's call this x. You should subtract 180 with 70 degree, which is equal to 110 degree. So this is 110 degree, and these are the supplementary angles because the summation of supplementary angles are equal to 180 degree.